Hello and welcome back to another episode of We Talking About. Today, we're talking about episode 6, season 1 of iZombie.
We have to stop saying season 1. I know that's what it is, but it's killing me that we keep saying season 1 because I know about season 2 now.
Yeah, wait till it's season 6.
This looming thing. It could go all the way. It could go all the way to like
It could.
Prison Break and 24 Town, where it's like a million seasons.
So this is on CW, something that's worthwhile to mention beforehand. CW, as of next week, will be open broadcasting their network over the internet for free.
What?
They're the first network to do this,
fuck?
It only makes sense though because the commercials will still be there, and now anybody can watch their shows. I think if anything, they'll make more money because more people will watch their shows.
That's
and more,
great.
and it made me think, why doesn't everyone do it that way?
And doesn't CW have a bunch of like interesting superhero shit and shit that
yeah,
ends
they
up
have
on
like
Netflix
they
anyway,
have like
right?
Arrow and Flash and
fuck.
they already have a
Supergirl,
deal
whatever.
with Hulu that their stuff goes to Hulu of like like the next day or whatever. Now it's like you can just straight up watch the shit.
That's amazing. And why doesn't everybody do that?
I don't know. I couldn't think of a reason after the fact. I was like, well, you're only watching you're not paying for standard, especially like cable channels make sense, but all your network channel standard, I'm like, why aren't those free? Shouldn't they just want to get more viewers?
I was trying to watch like the Oscars or some Grammys maybe or some shit because I didn't watch it because I tried to go watch it because they said it's streaming, by the way, and I was like, great, and it was like log in as your and I have TV. I was just too lazy to go look up the fucking thing. So I was like, fuck that, and
This
just
will be
didn't
the
watch
first
it.
not log in,
That's
just
awesome.
playing. Like I guess you go to like CW11.com or whatever it is. I don't know that for a fact.
That's gonna give them. I mean, prediction. That's gonna give them such a leg up over like other bullshit.
Well,
things.
their whole thing is that they're marketing towards tweens. Like that's what they're like. People insult the channel by saying.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, well, if assuming you're in that mindset, well, tweens don't have cable. This makes a lot of sense.
And they never will. It's not like you're gonna get them. Well, I have to watch Arrow.
No.
4 months early or whatever. I still remember them when they were the WWWWWB.
Well, yeah, Warner Brothers owned it and sold
time.
it. Yeah. Same thing with like when Paramount sold, and now it was UPN.
Open. Oh,
damn.
damn.
Originally it was UPN, then it was My9. UPN was Paramount.
God, TV's been fucking Jesus.
Anyway, we're getting away from the topic at hand.
But that means you can watch this along with us, and you have no excuse. And we're on episode 6.
Episode 6.
So Major's not dead.
I know.
I'm so pissed.
So,
are you pissed?
But when it opened and he was stitching up Major, I was like, oh my god, I was wrong. He is dead.
We're so fucking... All right, so during the last review cap episode thing here, so the last episode ended with a body bag. You thought you saw it open or like her react.
I could have sworn it opened and it wasn't Major, and you could have sworn it opened and it was Major.
No.
Or saw a reaction that made it seem like it was Major.
No, I was saying that we were not shown anything, but she was about to go open the body bag.
Okay.
And when last we saw Major, he was knocked the fuck out at the skate park with blood on his face.
Get up, bitch!
Get up, bitch! Oh, so I thought he was gonna. I was like, oh, he's gonna be dead. And I had a whole fucking. I like structured a whole. And in that opening shot when he's lying on the cold slab and Ravi's going at him with a tool, I was like, oh, my whole laid out plan. She's gonna have to turn him into a zombie. They're gonna debate it. He's gonna be like, why'd you bring me back? This sucks. And she's like, no, but we have a thing. But now there's a new guy. Oh man, there's love triangles and stuff. And then he opens his eyes. He's like, that stings or something. And I'm like, no, you're not even kind of dead, you bastard.
And you find out as a government worker, his insurance was shitty, and he went there to get stitched up because he couldn't afford a real doctor.
He knows doctors, I guess. Right?
He's got a gigantic house. I feel like he has money.
Yeah, but I mean,
whatever.
like he knows people. So well, like she's certainly well trained. Ravi would have some I don't know.
Ravi is a doctor. He's her boss.
Yeah.
So he should know how to stitch somebody. Maybe
that
he's
was
not
a weird
good
plot
at it,
line thing. Where it's like, oh, I'm dreadful at this and all that stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
So he mentions that I went to the skate park. I saw Jerome's high tops, and she even says they're not like one of a kind.
Which was my argument.
Which was your whole thing, and then he goes, like, trust me, like, listen, this is me.
Trust me, that 6'5" man, he was wearing a child's sneakers.
I know.
Trust me.
I didn't even appreciate that fully until we saw them together, because you saw him and like his various kids together, right?
Major is big.
Yeah.
And this guy towers over Major.
I know. Anyway, we can't stress over the little things, because zombie cougar lady kills a delivery boy.
Yeah, because he didn't bring her brains, the soup du jour.
I wonder what the fuck is going on, or why the brains
I think
weren't
it's
in
like,
there.
what is that movie where you order pizza X anchovies and the guy sexes you up?
What?
Before McDreamy was McDreamy on Grey's Anatomy, he was a actor in movies like Can't Buy Me Love and stuff. and there was one where he played a pizza delivery man, but he was really a gigolo, and people would order pizza extra anchovies, and he would come in, and then that meant you want 6.
I like anchovies. That's horrible. No, but so
I forgot what led into that.
No, but that was my first thought too. Was when you say, I thought of like I think it's Half Baked or something like that, right? Where it's like, give me one of them candles or whatever, and it's like $5. And you're like, that's a lot for a candle. Oh, it has drugs in it or something. Like there's some angle, right, or whatever.
Yeah.
But
so you order this, and that means give it a brains.
Well, but she's a VIP, and she knows Blaine personally, and I don't know why he's even bringing her baguettes as if it's I don't know, I wasn't clear what was happening there or whatever.
Well, like she could eat that stuff too.
Yeah, for fun or whatever.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have the brains. I don't know why the brains weren't there. I don't know why the supply chain got interrupted. I don't think that kid was taking the brains. I don't know what's going on or if that's ever going to be addressed.
It's weird to have anybody in his employ that's not a zombie, because we later in this episode see the butcher shop, and there's just like torsos and arms and shit everywhere. Like, there'd be no way for a teenage boy not to discover this stuff. So that's a plot hole that you just needed a device to, I don't know.
Well, and that would make sense if he was a zombie and like ate it himself, but then he would know that she would care a lot about that, and she couldn't have eaten his brain then because he'd be a zombie. I guess that doesn't work.
We've not actually established if you can eat zombie brain or not.
I know. We've not established a couple of things, but
this episode felt more like an episode of Psych than a lot of episodes have so far, where it's like, I'm like, well, this is goofy.
Yes, it was goofy, most definitely.
Yeah.
We didn't give like an intro thought thing. But she kills a delivery boy because she needs them sweet brains. Maybe that'll come back to haunt her, who knows.
And then calls to say he never showed up.
Right. And Blaine's like, huh, or whatever. We'll get back to that later. The dead guy in this episode, a
large man.
The case is
a elite hacker.
He's there's a lot of stuff.
A World of Warcraft hacker.
I can't wait. Well, I guess we're there, right?
A agoraphobic hacker.
So you've covered all the bases. She gets the things from eating the brains. Here she gets elite hacking skills, video game knowledge and skills, and the agoraphobia that inevitably goes along with those things. He dies of a peanut allergy, and there's a card, and it pops as a confetti
a glitter bomb
thing,
filled with peanut
fractures. Yes.
Sand particles.
So some of the highlights here, his name is the Sim Reaper.
Yeah, that's not a bad name, but his name was also like Simon or something. So I was like, oh, it's not even as good as I wanted it to be.
I actually went through that same journey you've just described, where I was like, oh, like the Sim Reaper, I kind of like that. And then later his name is like Simon Curtis or something. I'm like, oh, that's just your fucking name. I take it back. Right in the beginning, they make special note of this thing where he like roasted a chick on like customer service. Yeah. Fail me and I will delete you like so much digital noise. Is the quote that I wrote down because it was fucking the worst thing ever. I was so happy. I'm like, holy, he was literally that guy from The Simpsons. If you know the guy from The Simpsons, yeah. Only when we see him, he's dead. He's been dead for a while. His organs are rotting, but she still eats the brains.
Yeah,
and that's fine. Yeah, I don't know if that makes sense.
No, the science doesn't hold up for anything in this show, but it doesn't have to because it's a bad show, so it can do whatever it wants.
It has free reign over the rules.
I also thought it was funny. She's like, oh, I might be sick from this. Oh, and I'm like, you don't taste anything that's not hot. Why would this even affect you at all?
Maybe all she can taste are brains and spicy food.
I don't think so, because she put spicy shit on brains, I think, to give them a taste.
I think his brains taste bad. It could have been the texture, too. The texture might have been disgusting.
Once you blend it, everything is a milkshake.
That's just science.
Oh, I kind of want a milkshake right now.
I'm starving. Okay, vision, social anxiety, bullshit. Oh, we have to talk about video games.
Yeah, what was that horrible shit they were like?
So
some proprietary, really pixelated shit game from 1995.
So I'm a video game expert or whatever the fuck, and I was commending this show earlier, like 2 episodes ago, for using like real video games that came out in the last like 5 years or whatever for like their show. They used Diablo 3 and they use but don't even like name. I think it was Dying Light in like the first or second episode.
But since they have a Blizzard connection, why wouldn't this have just been Warcraft 3? I mean World of Warcraft.
Yeah, I don't know. And it's Warlock Forest, which I didn't Google it, but I'm pretty sure it's a fake game.
I hope that looks like shit.
It needs to be a fake game. Yeah, and it like. When I commended this show for kind of using or trying to kind of use realish video games and just like throw in random shit that is like fine, this is the exact opposite. This looked like on Bones or NCIS, or when they have a thing like Law and Order, whatever the fuck, and like Law and Order Miami Files, and it's like he killed him in the game and he died for real, and they show some weird ass game where you're like, this isn't, no one would play this, what is this, or something like that, or some weird, it was like literally that. And I was gonna jokingly say 2002, but I think your 95 is even like because like, yes, it looked super old and shitty and
it
bad
looked
in
like
every
a
possible
game
way.
I would have had in 1995. I also, there's a weird throwaway bit where like she confronts the guy in the game as a potential murderer, and like he like hits like ding, and like it just calls her immediately.
Yep.
Like assuming like a lot there, because what? She's not like signed into anything that she would have that guy's stuff signed in. It's just like an auto I call and open up your like
open up a two-way video call immediately with someone.
Yeah.
And it popped up like it was meant to be like a Skype or something.
Yeah.
Like it was not part of the game.
No, yeah, it was an outside the game,
oh, it's
like,
a crazy
auto
game
call.
where you talk or whatever. Also, I didn't even make a note of this, but like her like opener is like, oh, you're full auto. You're the guy who I suspect. Well, I'm not really this guy. I'm with the cops, and we have to talk or whatever. I'm like, why would you do that? You want to fucking do some shit first. Like, what are you doing?
It was so weird because like that guy, like if that was actually a killer, he could have been like, sign off. Oh, you didn't get me. I'm out.
Never sign it again.
Yeah.
You're just getting away with it. I know.
Very
really
weird.
weird.
And now that kid's like, I'm 14, tilts the camera. You see that Statue of Liberty or whatever the fuck was behind him? The Empire State Building? I was like, that's convenient.
Very convenient. He is 14 though, and it's gross, and he looks like the kid from Salute Your Shorts, I think. Looks like the redhead guy. So, you know, Butnick?
I think it was Butnick.
Donkey Lips?
That was the big guy.
I know. They hung out.
Yep.
So that's that. That lead ends, right? I guess it was someone else. There's some bookkeeping stuff in between. Major goes back to the kid's place.
Yeah, you find out that he's like the boss of the child's youth protective agency or whatever the fuck it is.
He's the cool counselor.
The first counselor lady is trying to get her shit and she can't. She's like, oh, I just gotta tell me blah blah blah. And Major just walks in like, hey, what's up? Why are you doing this? Blah, blah. And like they just open up and answer.
He just immediately says, well, cause like my stepdad was fucking with shit, and he's like, well, that's his problem, not your problem. Your problem is your anger, and it goes through this whole
He's
thing.
always gonna be a dick, and if you treat him like this, you're gonna get like here, blah 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 blah. That's why you're kicked out.
And so that will lead soon to him like watching a bunch of tapes, because people are putting, not tapes, YouTube videos that people are putting on YouTube from the skate park.
And I can't remember the exact wording of that, but that drove me the most nuts out of anything.
What happened?
It was something about the YouTube videos. It's like, yeah, there's hundreds. Oh, it was like he walks in the room because he hears the voice of the kid that's missing.
Yes.
And he's like, what are you looking at? Oh, I was looking at some old blah blah videos of blah blah. Like, Blaine's only been around for like 6 months, maybe 4 of them, or no, he only started fighting for food like recently, right, or something. Like he was some scrounger.
I feel like the skate park's a new racket. Months certainly, not longer than that.
So like this would be assuming you're uploading videos like every day, and like he's there. Like it took a lot of assumptions, because are there a lot of videos? Hundreds. Yeah, from his life of skating, not from the last 2 weeks.
Well, and the only thing that I would give them credit for is later when he finds, you know, Blaine in one of the videos, he says, I've watched hundreds of hours of video or something like that to like find him.
What cinched it the other way for me is he's not looking for Blaine, he's looking for the other guy who was only born a week ago.
Yes, who only recently came out of the freezer.
He was born like a week ago,
right.
and just happens to find him in this footage and with Blaine, who, why would he be going to the skate park anymore? He now, since that guy was hatched, he's been running a criminal organization.
And you would think that they wouldn't want to be seen together at all ever, right? And he has no reason.
It's stupid.
Whatever. Lowell shows up with meds because she said she was anxiety-ed and stuff like that. They do a chatty chat. He explains his whole like backstory really quickly, in a way that makes me very, like...
It's like the worst backstory ever?
Well, and I should be suspicious, but I feel like that's just meant to be his actual backstory.
No, it's just bad writing. I didn't get any, like, ooh, is he a bad actor or guilty? I got this is bad writing.
They didn't use any, like, tilted angles or whatever.
He's like, I woke up in a drunk tank with a scratch or something.
That's like, literally, woke up with a scratch on my leg. And he got brains from bribing a guy at a funeral home nearby, something like that, something not... And again, I'm forced to just take this at face value, because... like the way that they treated, unless this is like a masterful pull maneuver, which I think that they're not capable of, the way that they played Blaine's deception versus this now, I just have to be like, well, this is just it. We're just, like, this is only in there because they thought, well, some people in the audience might question how this guy's been doing his thing, or how long he's been a zombie, or how does he get his brain. Like, we should probably just put something in, explain it or something.
Yeah, something we can forget about, and then we'll write something else later.
Yeah, and he says so he was gonna jump out of a plane, and he got the zombie mode thing going on.
Yes.
And
from being agitated and nervous.
He now completely explains, well, I'm a musician and I can't even play in public anymore because I get that rush before the show, and I almost turn into a zombie and shit. So like, fuck, I can only play at the studio, And she's like, that's awful. And he goes, thank you. And then they do a smoochy smoochy.
Yeah. I've been waiting so long for someone to feel my way about this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with the yuck thing, but I do like that they're zombies and they found each other and they can say shit. She calls him earlier or something and is all like, I have a problem, I'm faking being sick in the worst way possible. Wait a minute, you're a zombie, which she should never say on a recording, ever. But for the purposes of a show, she says, wait, you're just a zombie,
saying
I can
someone's
just
a zombie,
tell you.
that doesn't really, if you were listening,
no one would ever believe that.
But then you're saying, I just ate this guy's brains, which is something you could do in life.
Yeah, I ate a brain of an agoraphobic and now I can't leave the house, sorry. And he shows up with like beta blockers or whatever, some Xanax or some shit to be like,
because he had PTSD earlier or something.
Love. Yeah, we got this. Clive goes to the butcher shop.
Yes, he does.
He's investigating as cops do.
Because Ravi found expensive meat and truffles in his stomach of the teenage boy who they found headless.
It's all coming full circle. The cougar lady killed the boy. He had the expensive food from Blaine's butcher shop, it turns out, because he was the delivery boy for Blaine's butcher brain shops and fanciness. And this, I actually liked part of this. He shows a picture of the kid. He says some other shit, blah, blah, blah. So I mentioned in an earlier episode that I'm a sucker for the, like, confession, crime scene theater type of thing. Where it's like Columbo does his thing, like, ma'am, would you just step here? Okay, the killer had to be about your height, sir. Step over here. And then you're like, oh, fuck, and he catches the guy. I'm also a sucker for, like, the villain being like, yeah, come on back here, look around, whatever. A dog just died, though. Are you weird about maggots? Anyway, come back. And they're like, whoa, it's fine, just drive past. Yeah. And the guy smiles like a Die Hard, like a villain will do that or whatever, like a dude suddenly changing his accent, a dude suddenly doing all shit like that. And they did that here, where he's like, yeah, no, there's a bunch of crap in the back. And then that's the shot you were talking about, where they cut to like Blaine's point of view, and there's old lady Mama Cass with a cleaver and like torso is fucking on the thing, waiting to ambush him if he takes 2-3 steps forward or whatever. But Clive doesn't, he gets a cell phone call, he like doesn't do it or whatever. But I actually kind of love that shit.
It didn't play out bad for me. That like I liked his real quick shtick of like what was that noise? Oh, the ice machine. That shit scares the shit out of me when I'm here alone.
Just the ice machine dropping a load, like he was doing this whole thing or whatever. I kind of like that actor.
That wasn't bad. That wasn't bad. The show is bad, but that.
I think it's important to highlight little moments where I go like, "That was kind of cool that you did that show." Blah blah blah.
MVP of a bad situation.
Anything more about that?
No.
Because next is Liv is hacking. She's time to delete hacks. She needs lists of names. She's SQL injecting things. That's a real thing. I'm also the computer expert in addition to being the video game expert. That's a real type of hacking, and she's hacking, and she's like getting Doritos and cheesy doodle puffs and like
I wanted
Mountain
cheese doodles
Dew.
so bad.
I know.
Oh man.
Even though I am the expert on all these things, I don't eat that stuff usually, cheesy doodle puffs and Mountain Dew. But there was a lot of that in this episode, which is even funnier for the character that she's playing or whatever the fuck. She sees a vision of that like spray of opening one of them hot ass cans.
Yeah.
That triggers the vision finally.
Peanut dust glitter combo bomb.
Deadly birthday card, which she then hears the card is playing a nursery rhyme, right? Pocket full of posies, blah blah blah.
Ring around the rosy.
Ring around the rosy is the title of it. Yes. So then I just wrap up the episode. That leads them to search the list in like a different way. It makes the connection. Oh, the killer. Turns out in the very first moments of everything, we're looping all the way back.
It all comes full circle.
Yeah.
When we find out that he was mad at that girl for blowing up his spot and posting that tantrum of his onto the YouTubes. So he destroyed her life in every way possible.
Right. So the call that they show in the beginning, when they wheel out the guy, one of the guys is like, "Did he suffer?" And you're like, "Wow, everyone hates this guy." And it's that guy. It's literally that guy. He was, waiting nearby, as people who like set fires or do stuff often will wait in plain sight to see the aftermath or whatever. Make sure
he's been waiting for like 2 weeks.
That doesn't make any sense. You're absolutely right. But yeah,
2 weeks, day and night, for whenever they would actually come.
Just shitting in a hole, just waiting for the police to show up so he could be there for that part of that scene.
So that when people say, "Have you seen anything suspicious?" they can say, "That guy who hasn't fucking moved in the last 2 weeks."
He tried to tell me he was a garden gnome earlier. I just said garden gnomes don't talk, and then he stopped talking, which I thought was just pathetic. His last name is Posey. That's why he chose the Ring Around the Rosie pocket full of Posey things. And he is the brother of that girl who worked at the call center. We find out that the dead guy was a total piece of shit, and not only was a dick, went on to like destroy her entire life and put her on pedophile no-fly lists and ruin her credit and all that shit.
He made her a terrorist. He destroyed her credit. He made it so she couldn't work. She eventually kills herself. And the brother wants sweet, sweet revenge.
And they say, "You're probably going to be in jail for the rest of your life." And he goes, "It was worth it."
Yeah.
Best revenge ever. They don't actually smooch. They get interrupted because I wrote down here, after this whole thing, Liv goes to the studio and they smooch there.
Yes.
I'm not good with the smooching.
Well, they originally didn't get interrupted. She, rejected him.
Yeah,
and then felt bad.
And then he was
it's like, all right.
Well, then she's like, I have a lead on this case. Really, it's fine. No, it's there. I just have hacking or something.
But now she has a new love interest. Major has a new love interest. Major's not dead. The cop is as bad as any cops can be.
Yeah, we should say, so I don't know if it's right at the end or near the end. That other kissing might be the end, but Blaine goes to kill the original cougar, and there might be a new cougar, it looks like, in the works, because he needs a sugar mama at all times.
Yeah.
He kills her with a drill in the face. He goes there and is like, "Guess what? The cops were by." And she goes, "Oh, weird." And he's just holding a drill.
I took it as not killing her, as lobotomizing her.
Okay.
That she would be like, because she dies, her accounts would get closed and stuff, and he still wants the money.
Oh, that's even better. I didn't even think about that.
That's what I thought, because I'm like, that's a very specific weapon of choice. And I could be wrong, but
that would be great.
That's what I'm picturing.
I support that. I feel like that's far more interesting, and I hope that happens, even if it doesn't. Because if he just randomly killed her with a drill, because he's walking down the street with this gigantic drill, it makes no sense. Yeah. So it makes much more sense, because she'll just be a zombie now, like a real zombie, not one of these fake TV show Zombie Diaries zombies.
Yeah.
And that's basically it.
Yeah, that's this episode
thoughts in general.
The show is not good. At least this was a little goofier, maybe, than the last one. Or the last one was triply goofy. This one was I don't know. This show is a conundrum wrapped in shit. Where I'm like, I don't know what to think about it. I know that it's not like, I'm like, oh, this is top tier excellent.
I know.
It's not horrible garbage. We had a couple episodes that were bad. It just leaves not much to talk about.
Did it feel like filler to you? Did it feel like...
most of the show is filler, I feel.
Yeah.
And they pepper in a couple of good ideas and would-have-beens that they don't actually go for or pan out.
Yeah, a lot of the video game stuff, like Cloud in My Judgment, and he's a weird hacker dude, and the goofiness, but I agree that it was goofy, but the type of goofiness, like her biking and shit, was goofy in a way that was like, this is what? And this was goofy in a way of Psych, like you were saying, this is goofy TV show
it felt
goofy
like an
stuff.
episode of Psych to me.
So you're like, okay, but
no consequence, crime fightery.
Yes. You are protected by the writers. You are free to go wherever you want. You
never at any point feel like anyone's in actual danger as long as they're in the opening crawl of the show.
Yeah. And I guess that's just going to be how it is.
Yeah.
This is episode 6. I believe season 1 has 13, so this is about the halfway point.
Yep, just about.
Maybe things will take a turn. I think we're out of new characters.
Well, we'll find out next week. Until next time, guys, don't die in a fire, and tune in for episode 7 next week.